Hello and welcome to English Capsules. Today's capsule, present simple versus present continuous. Get your coffee ready and let's get started.
In this corner, meaning routine, general truths, fixed arrangements, and likes, present simple. And in this other corner, meaning things happening now, temporary situations, present continues. Let the contrast begin.
After this wonderful introduction, we are going to establish the contrast between these two tenses, the present simple and the present continuous.
So, our goal today is going to be to help when you come to activities in which you have to identify what tense you need to use, right? This can help you either in parts of grammar, in your writing also. This can be handy. And pretty much that's it because in the other skills, we don't need
Well,
this.
maybe in speaking, when you are talking to someone and you need to show them the things that you regularly do, um, and the things that you are doing now. In my experience, when it comes to speaking, there are many times in which my students make mistakes regarding these two tenses because as they are not seeing anything written, it's not so easy to keep track of what you are saying because you are not seeing the sentence, let's say. So many times it is confusing for them to choose which of the two to use.
Fair enough. Uh, my students make mistakes, but with other tenses, not with this. Okay, so we think that it's very important that we keep in mind functions here, right? That's
Mhm.
why if you paid attention in our introduction, we were actually enumerating the functions of each of these tenses.
Okay, so for the audience to know, when we speak about functions, we mean when we are going to use these verb tenses or what purpose they have or what use they have, right? So when you keep this in mind, it is easier to choose one. So, for example, you'd want to speak about your routine. Okay, so we know that the present simple is for routines. So, okay, that's the one that you are going to choose. But if you want to say something that you are doing in this moment, well, so present continuous is the one that you're going to choose. Those are the functions, what I use each tense for. In my experience, when my students work with the present simple, it takes a bit for them to acquire this the auxiliary thing, how to use it, and everything. But when they do acquire that, uh, they do it well. And then we go to the present continuous, and the same happens because we know that the present continuous is very similar to Spanish, so no issues. The problem comes when they have to contrast them because they start to get confused, sorry, with the function and then with the auxiliaries, and then they end up mixing these two tenses.
Um, I want to let our audience know that if you want to go deeper into the structures of each of these tenses, we have already devoted a capsule to each of them.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why we're not stopping so much right now on auxiliaries and structure. Yeah, because our goal here is completely different. Is
Mhm.
to what we were saying in contrast to know when we're going to use one and when we need the other, right?
Mhm.
So one thing that comes is not one thing that comes in handy. It's like a key
Yeah, sure.
factor when we need to determine what tense to use, probably not only for these ones, but for all the tenses that we know, is to know something very important that are called time expressions. So, time expressions are crucial when we have activities because normally they appear We may see them or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Uh, and why do we say that is important? Because we don't use the same time expressions in the present simple as in the present continuous, for example.
I want to add something here that is that in general, the time expressions go along with the function that we were mentioning before. So if you want to express a routine, the time expression for you is going to be always, never, every day.
On the contrast, if we are speaking about things that are happening right now, one of the expressions is now, at the moment, this summer, or this Christmas. Yep.
Mhm. Speaking about temporary actions, as we mentioned, or situations, as we mentioned before. So if you keep this in mind together with the function, success is going to knock on your door.
Another important thing is that we read the whole sentence. So what I'm saying sounds like a very obvious thing, but for most of our students, it's not. What tends to happen is that, especially if you have the activities of filling the gaps, yes, they tend to read until the gap and the
Mhm.
sentence finishes. And
Yes.
it's not like that because normally the sentence continues, and most of the time you need to read until you reach the stop.
If it is a text, the whole text it would be recommended. Like, I mean, read it until the end, and then you will get like a deeper. I don't know if it is deeper, but a fuller understanding.
So, one strategy that I normally recommend, especially when at the beginning that we don't have all these expressions in mind, because for us right now they are very common and
Mhm.
probably we see them and that's enough. But if you're not very conscious, what you can do is try to use colors.
Mhm.
So, for instance, you choose green and all the time expressions that you find, you are going to mark them green. So this is going to be super helpful because you bring them forward and it's going to be like super easy for you to see what tense you need. Because
Mhm.
it's like, okay, I found usually, which means this is routine. So present simple.
Okay. Yes. It's a very. I use colors all the time, and I recommend my students to use colors all the time because colors are helpful. We know that most people are visual learners, so this means that with a visual aid, you are going to be more like maybe some things are going to be clearer to you.
I don't know if you have any other piece of advice that can be useful for our audience. Probably our audience can share with us if they have any tricks when it comes to these type of activities, if they are aware of time expressions. Yeah.
Sure. And if they do have tricks or any other comment, we invite them to leave a comment down here below this episode or in our Instagram account, the English Capsules, where we are going to have a special post on this topic today. Okay, so before we go, remember to subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Give love to our content and spread the word to help our channel grow.
Also remember that you can rate our episodes and comment on each capsule. Activate the bell so that you know when our next capsule is out. And take a look at the description and our Instagram account to take more advantage of our content.
Okay, so that's all for today. Bye for now.
Bye.